Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone like to come on in and stand up and we'll sing our call to worship. Let's.
Good morning. We're going to vamp for a while until all the Unity folks show up. They're still pulling into the parking lot. My name is Blake Ringsmith, and I'm pleased to be your worship assistant today. We have a special guest speaker, Jack Harnish, who you have seen before. Glad to have him here on this wonderful, beautiful, snowy, white morning. I have some announcements. Also, we'd like to welcome all of those watching on the YouTube channel. Welcome, everybody. Lift this baby up. Okay, I have a few announcements. First of all, board nominations. It's not too late to express interest in becoming a board member if you are so inclined, or there's that small, quiet voice speaking to you. It's a wonderful way to serve our congregation here, as well as to become more involved in the operations of the church. If you're interested, please pick up an application from the information table, which is in the hallway. And if you have any questions, please see a current board member or Bob. Bob is ubiquitous around here. Let's see, the Father Fred Frostbite Food Drive. Father Fred Frostbite Food Drive is coming up. This year, we'll be participating again in the Father Fred Frostbite Food Drive. I'm going to work on that. We are asking for volunteers to man the donation table. The event will be held at Tom's Supermarket on Munson Avenue, which some of you may have passed on the way here, on Tuesday, February 10th. So that's Tuesday, February 10th. Volunteers will work in 2-hour shifts, and we would like 2 volunteers per shift if possible. The sign-up sheet is on the information table in the hallway. Please consider participating in this worthy event. And I've shared about my experiences there in the past. It is an extremely powerful event, challenging my perceptions of people, who you think might be giving and who you think might not, and then being thankfully shocked and surprised, and remembering that we are all divine. It is a wonderful opportunity for that and to raise food for those who are in need. So I strongly encourage participating in that. Now we have a statement of unity, which should be on the board. Let's say it together. Together, I am at peace no matter where I am.
All my cares. I cast all my cares on you, God. I cast all my cares on you, and lay all my burdens in your presence. I cast all my cares on you, oh God. I cast all my cares on you, God. I cast all my cares on you. And even when I'm not sure what I should do, I cast all my cares on you, oh God.
Now is the time where we have some prayer and then we move right into meditation. Today's prayer I'm going to read from the Daily Word for today, Sunday, January 11th. Created in the image and likeness of God, I have creative power to bring my ideas to life. I choose which thoughts to nurture and grow, and where and how to invest my time and energy. Like a sailor preparing to embark upon the open sea, I do not travel alone. I get clear about where I want to go and what I want to experience, and get ready for the journey. I map the course to my goals and make an action plan. God accompanies me as the wind that fills my sails and propels me. I hold the rudder and choose the route, but ultimately, the wind moves me. I collaborate with spirit within and feel secure and brave, knowing I am always supported. With divine guidance to rely upon, I move confidently in the direction of my dreams. And so it is. I invite you now to take some slow, deep breaths as we enter into our time of meditation. With each breath out, we release any tension in our body, moving maybe our neck gently to loosen that our shoulders as well. Breathing deeply, we feel supported by the chair. Our body becomes more flexible and loose. We breathe deeply, expanding that heart space within our chest, making room, loosening that which needs to be released, and making space for the newness to come in. Breathing in and out, we become more and more aware of the divine presence within us. We feel that inner presence, that warmth in that soul space where our heart resides. And with each breath, we become more reconnected with the divine presence. Feel it strengthening within you, and also becoming aware of those around you as their divine presence becomes more noticeable, and feeling the good, feeling the love, and sensing that energy that is beginning to fill this room as each of us affirms the divine within. Breathing in that loving energy created by each one of us here. It is empowering. We are here sharing our Christ presence on a journey. We are here today by divine appointment. Your life is a divine appointment. While we may not understand all that is happening around us at any given time, we remember that it is the journey. We remember and affirm that all is in divine order and that we do not have to understand the unfoldment that is happening, what has happened in the past, what is going to happen. We need not understand it all, for we do hold the rudder of our dreams and our goals. And the Mother, Father, Spirit is the wind that propels us in the direction that we set. And we know not where that journey will ultimately take us. But the gifts are along the way. As we enter into the silence, I ask that you envision you holding the rudder and charting your course. And knowing that the gifts will be in the journey and not the destination. And as we return to this place, you can be reminded that those gifts could be as simple as looking out the window, seeing the beautiful snow on the tree branches and the pines, getting that surprise note from a friend, being here together in fellowship. And for this and so much more, we are so grateful. And together we say, Amen.
Come into the silence, rest for a while, release all the cares of your day. Come into the silence, quiet your mind. Spirit has something to say. If you will trust the Lord to guide you, trust the Lord beside you. Be not afraid to let go. Spirit will befriend you. Spirit is within you. Spirit is love, you know. Come into the silence, rest for a while, release all the cares of your day. Come into the silence, quiet your mind. Spirit has something to say. Spirit has something to say.
In that beautiful time of reflection, I was thinking in this noisy world where it seems every morning we wake up to a new horror, how much we need a time of silence and a space where we come together and in the silence discover the strength and the courage and the hope that we need for the week. What a beautiful time together. Thank you, Blake, for your leadership, for the gift of a time of silence in a very noisy and violent world. What a gift for each of us. It is good to be back with you after some time. Always nice to come back and share the day with you. The drive from Benzie County was a bit challenging, but not bad. And we made it in good time. So it's nice to be back with you. Thank you for the invitation to come and share the day. I'd like to know what happened to Ebenezer after Christmas. I mean, I assume we all know the story of the grumpy, greedy Scrooge and the fearful encounter with ghosts, and about the Christmas morning when he woke to a new day. But I want to know what happened after Christmas. You know, beyond the glow of Christmas Eve or the excitement of New Year's Eve, in those long gray days of January, isn't that where most of us live most of the time? I'd like to know what happened after Christmas. You know, the name Ebenezer has deep meaning. I'll be honest, in almost 50 years of ministry, I've never baptized an Ebenezer. And I think my sons were probably glad that I didn't give them that name. But the name Ebenezer has deep meaning and deep roots, of which I am sure Charles Dickens was well aware. The name comes from the Old Testament prophet Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 2. In the midst of conflict with the Philistines, the prophet Samuel calls the people to a time of looking back and giving thanks for the victories that they've won and looking forward to what lies ahead. He uses an object lesson to remind them. He picks up a stone, maybe a Petoskey stone, who knows? And the writer says, then Samuel took a stone and set it between Mizpah and Jeshanoah, and he called it Ebenezer, which means stone of help. And he said, hitherto the Lord has helped us. And I'm guessing that Dickens chose the name Ebenezer because of his vision of the past and the present and the future, like the month of January that gets its name from the Roman god Janus with two faces, one face looking back, one face looking forward. Samuel calls the people first to a time of looking back, remembering what God has done. Samuel reviews all the battles that they fought. In fact, they're in the midst of a battle. They feel like they're being threatened by other forces. And quite frankly, don't you often feel like we are under the threat of evil forces? But even in the midst of it, Samuel takes the stone and he reminds them, hitherto the Lord has helped us. Now, looking back over this year of 2025, maybe it would be better to say, thank God we survived it. So January is a time of looking back and celebrating the blessings of the past year, setting up an Ebenezer, which says, here to this time and place, we've arrived, we've survived. Hitherto the Lord has helped us. Now, if you don't mind my bringing my United Methodist tradition into the story, in 1747, John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, wrote his first liturgy for the people called Methodist. It was a service designed for the first Sunday of the new year, and it was called a service of renewal of our covenant with God. In it, he begins with this theme of thanks and praise, which is, I think, downright eloquent. I'll read it in the traditional language. O God, our Father, the fountain of goodness, who has been gracious to us through all the years of our life, we give thee thanks for thy loving kindness, which has filled our days and brought us to this time and place. Thou hast given us life and reason and set us in a world which is full of your glory. In darkness, thou hast been our light. In adversity, a rock of strength. In our joy, the very spirit of joy. In our labor, the all-sufficient reward. Thou hast remembered us even when we have forgotten thee, followed us even when we fled from thee, met us with forgiveness when we turn back to thee, for all thy love, long suffering, and the abundance of thy grace. We praise thy holy name. To begin a new year, month of January, looking back with a sense of gratitude and praise. When I was 18, a lily white boy from a lily white town in western Pennsylvania, I crossed the Mason-Dixon line to go to college in Kentucky. I don't think I'd ever met a person of color before, and I'd certainly never heard a black gospel choir sing. But I remember in that freshman year in college, the gospel choir from Eastern Kentucky University came to lead one of our chapel services at Asbury College. They simply blew me away with their radiant praise, and they brought me to tears when they closed the service, marching down the aisle, swaying and singing, "We've come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord, trusting in his holy word. He's never failed me yet. Oh, I can't turn around. We've come this far by faith." Now, we all know for Scrooge, looking at the past was not entirely pleasant. In fact, much of it was pretty painful. And let's be honest, looking at this past year in our nation and our world, it hasn't been entirely pleasant, to say the least. Too much war, too much gun violence, not only in Minneapolis, but in Traverse City. Too much hateful rhetoric, too much political polarization, too much brutal action against immigrants, too much bombing of boats in the Caribbean, the sacrifice of our basic values, just too much. But here, at the beginning of a new year, I'd like to join Scrooge and Mr. Dickens and the prophet Samuel. I'd like to look back over 2025 and set up a stone right here and say, thank God we've made it. Hitherto, the Lord has helped us. In spite of it all, we're here. And we face this new year with a sense of thanksgiving and gratitude. So, an Ebenezer looks back to the past, hitherto, and then it looks forward to the future. Scrooge's visitors on that Christmas Eve showed him his past and present, but the full impact of those visions had to do with his glimpse of the future. And with that insight, he determined to change the direction. The memory of those chapel services at Asbury College, we had chapel 3 times a week. It was I don't remember many of them, and frankly, I can't remember any of the sermons, but that's another thing. But I remember another chapel service. Every year, we would have a visit from Miss McConnell. She was the leader of a small mission school in the mountains of eastern Kentucky called Mount Carmel. And every year, Miss McConnell and some of her students would come to Asbury College to lead chapel. Again, I don't remember anything that she said, but I do remember somewhere along the way, I've lost my copy, but she wrote a book about her work in the mountains of eastern Kentucky. And the title of the book was Hitherto and Henceforth in the Kentucky Mountains. Hitherto and henceforth. And of course, it's the henceforth that makes all the difference. What's important is to know what happened to Scrooge after Christmas. Oh, we know that he woke up on that Christmas morning delighted to discover that he had not missed Christmas. But I hope he woke up every morning with a sense of gratitude for the gift of every new day after Christmas. We know that Ebenezer delivered a goose to the Cratchit home on Christmas Day, and he raised Bob Cratchit's salary, but I hope he continued to live a life of generosity, to pay decent wages, to work for just labor laws after Christmas. We know he had compassion for Tiny Tim, but I hope he went on to care for the handicapped, the hungry, the homeless, the hurting after Christmas. We know about the hitherto, but it's the henceforth that makes all the difference. So it is with our journey and with our lives. Robert Robinson was only 8 years old when his father died. His mother, in poverty, sent him to London to be an apprentice to a barber. There he fell in with the wrong crowd. He spent most of his time carousing and gambling. One night, he and his rowdy friends decided to go to an evangelistic meeting with the intent of upsetting the whole thing. He heard the Methodist preacher George Whitefield preach. The message grabbed his heart. Robert Robertson took hold of the message. He became a preacher, and he wrote an old traditional hymn. Come, thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy praise. Streams of mercy, never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Then, in the second verse, he looks back to the prophet Samuel, and he says, Here I raise my Ebenezer. Hither by thy help I've come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. You know the end of the story, right? I mean, you've all followed the story of Scrooge. Scrooge wakes from his dreams. He looks around his room, but have you ever actually read Christmas Carol? Here's what Dickens says. Yes, the bedpost was his own, and the bed was his own. The room was his own. Best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own to make amends in. I will live in the past and the present and the future, Scrooge repeated as he scrambled out of bed. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. And then Dickens concludes at the end of the story, Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, as good a man as the good old city knew or any other good old city, town, or borough in this good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh and little heeded them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good at which some people did not have their fill of laughter at the outset. And knowing that such as these would be blind anyway, he thought it quite as well that they should wrinkle up their eyes and grin. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if anyone alive possessed that knowledge. May that truly be said of all of us, of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone. Well, sure enough, you and I don't know what 2026 is going to bring. We really don't know what's ahead. We don't know what's ahead for our nation, our world, our individual lives. But here today, on this January Sunday, can we look back and give thanks for what God has done in the past? And can we look ahead with hope of what the future might hold? Here, at the start of a new year, with Samuel and Scrooge and Dickens, let's just plant a rock of hope in Ebenezer, which says, "Hitherto the Lord has helped us, and henceforth we will go into the unknown future determined to live lives of compassion, generosity, and love. And may God bless us, everyone." Amen.
Wow. So I've had the opportunity to stand before you and speak, and I have a certain appreciation for a discussion, a talk that is so well put together and weaved throughout. And so, wow, well done, sir. Thank you, Jack. I may have to borrow some of that sometime. Thank you so much. Oh, boy. All right, well, this is now a time where we enter into our time of offering, a time to share our financial gifts with the ministry and be thankful for what we have, the abundance in our lives, including this wonderful lesson that we had today. As children of a loving God, we live in the light of abundance, deeply grateful for all that has been given and all that is yet to come henceforth. We embrace the good that God provides with joy and thanksgiving. And let us say our prosperity blessing, which should be up on the screens together. God is the constant, unconditional, and unfailing source of good in my life. So it is.
Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for thy courts above. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God. He to rescue me from danger interposed his precious
Woo. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, that brings our service to a conclusion. Thank you for those of you who braved the weather, and you certainly were rewarded in return for that. Let's see. There will be confidential prayer available with our prayer chaplain up here in front of the sanctuary and likely in the hall as well. We will have fellowship in the back that you're all welcome to come and enjoy. And at this time, let's form a circle, probably a little smaller circle, so we'll maybe move in a little bit so we can bring the energy. There we go. Can we do it?
Mention that Roland is recovering from surgery. Carol's Roland.
Oh, okay.
That's why
Good.
I'm not here today.
Okay. You can do it. Here we go. Look at this. More of a football shape, but that's fine. Love it. Love it. It is the season. It is the season. All right. As we form this circle of synergistic divine energy, I invite you to call to mind a circumstance or a person in need of divine power and healing and just the presence. And we keep in mind Roland and Carol. Roland is recovering from surgery, and that's why they aren't here today. So we hold them in mind and invite you to speak into the circle anyone or hold in your heart anyone who is in need of this powerful divine energy.